अंजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you very much, Colonel Sridharan and your wonderful team of Kovai Care for welcoming us and offering such wonderful hospitality over the last 2 days. And the highlight has been this wonderful evening session in the midst of all the community members. Thank you very much for making this happen. In fact, Raji ji is also related to me through my mother's side, and she found out a few days ago that I was coming, and she expressed regret that she could not be present today because she is in Chennai. But although she is not present, but I can see the impact of her wonderful intervention in the form of this wonderful cultural evening presentation which has been presented by all of you. Congratulations. I have also witnessed and had long conversations with Colonel Sridharan and Mr. Prajosh and Mr. Shyam and my team members who have come with me, Mr. Swadesh, Dr. Santosh Chaudhary, Siddharth and Tulsi Priya Prabhu. We have been extremely inspired to see the diligence, the consistency and the attention to detail which has been put into each and every activity to make the stay of every resident here as comfortable as possible. This is a very important initiative, and Kovai Care, led by all of you, is setting a sterling example for the entire India on how senior citizens should be treated with care and dignity. And it is important not just for the senior citizens, but it is important for the younger generation to also learn the importance of the value of respect. In America, in the mid-50s, in Chicago, there was a very notorious mafia don whose name was Al Capone. However hard the police tried to nab him, he would always escape. And the reason he would escape any kind of charges which were made against him in the court was because he had a very powerful lawyer with him whose name was Easy Eddie. So Easy Eddie knew the law so well that somehow or the other he would help Al Capone escape. But as time passed by, Easy Eddie realized that he has a son, and then he had a choice to make. When my son grows up, what kind of an example will I be setting for him? My son will have money, but he will have the example of someone who gave his entire life to make a mafia criminal escape the clutches of law. Or I have the opportunity to make my son feel proud about me by actually changing the course of my life and helping the police and the court system punish Al Capone. So at that point, he realized that if he becomes a whistleblower and he goes against Al Capone, he will be killed. But he made that decision that it is more important for me to set the right example and create the right values for my son. And the values which I create for my son is more important than the value which I will receive by making Al Capone escape. He made that choice. It was a difficult choice, but sometimes right choices are difficult to make. And as a result, the court, for the first time, got sufficient evidence by which Al Capone was put behind bars. As expected, it came with a cost, and within a few days, the mafia got hold of Easy Eddie and shot him dead. This was in the 20s actually. And then we find that in the World War II, when America joined the forces and the war began with America joining in after the Pearl Harbor attack by Japan, there was a fighter aircraft in which there was this very valiant fighter pilot by the name of Butch O'Hare. And as he was actually in the middle of an ocean, and this was an ocean liner which was a military battleship. So from the battleship, Butch O'Hare took a flight with a small fighter aircraft, and as he was going on his sortie, he saw a whole battalion, a whole fleet of enemy aircrafts, the Japanese aircrafts coming with the sole intention of sinking the entire battleship. There was practically no chance for Butch O'Hare, a sole fighter in one aircraft, to protect his battleship from this attack, because there were 6 or 7 such aircrafts coming. Butch O'Hare knew that he basically had this challenge in front of him. Either he escaped, survived, or he fights and risks his life. He risked his life and fought valiantly, and with one fighter aircraft in which he was flying, miraculously he managed to destroy at least 5 of those 7, and the other 2 ran away. And as a result, the battleship was saved, and Butch O'Hare received one of the highest gallantry awards from the US government, and the Chicago airport has been named after him, the O'Hare Airport. So now the question arises, why am I telling this story about Butch O'Hare? So Butch O'Hare was the son of Easy Eddie, that lawyer. And because he made that choice, and because he made that sacrifice, he may have ended his life, but he left behind an eternal value for his son to follow in his own life and share with society. Vedic Sanatan Dharma is focused on creating real values within us. And therefore, one of the important values we have as part of Vedic Sanatan Dharma is the value of caring for and respecting our family members, and making them feel valued. And so we find that when Lord Krishna is in the forest of trees of Vrindavan, and when he shows them the trees of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna glorifies those trees, and he says, Pashyadaitan mahabhagan parasyai jivitan vatavarsha atapahiman sahanto varayantina. Just see the glory of these trees. They are mahabhagan, supremely fortunate. Why is Krishna glorifying the trees? What have the trees done? If you ask anybody, what is your aspiration in life? They will never say, I want to become like trees. We see the trees all around us. We hardly ever notice them. What is so special about trees that attracts Krishna's interest? He says, Vata, Varsha, Atapa, Himan, Sahanto. The special quality of trees is they tolerate great pain. They tolerate great discomfort to protect others from pain and discomfort. Sahanto Varayantina. They tolerate and protect. Patra, Pushpa, Phala, Chhaya, Moola, Valkala, Darubhi, Tokmai, Kaman, Vitanvate. They give all kinds of things to others without expecting anything in return. So Krishna concludes by saying, people of this world may have their own parameters to define success. The society will define success in so many ways. Those who are part of the education system will define success in a different way. But if anyone bothers to ask me, Krishna says, what do you think, Krishna, success is? So Krishna explains in the 10th canto, in the 22nd chapter end. Etavat janma saphalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranirarther dhiya vacha shreyah acharanam sada. So Krishna says, this is success, janma safalyam. What is that? Pranir, with one's life, arthay, with one's wealth, dhiya, with one's intelligence, vacha, with one's words, shreyah, we try to serve others, benefit others, relieve the distress of others. And this I consider as success in life. And therefore, by those parameters, what all of you are doing in Kovai Care is you are tolerating all kinds of situations to make sure that priority of serving others, to help others and assist others, that's a priority in your life. And from the paradigm of Krishna, this is success in life. So therefore Krishna is glorifying this as success. And so in Mahabharata, Krishna reveals that whatever we have, it is not how much we give or how much we do, but whatever we have been given, if we decide to use it in the right way, that is real success. So therefore, Krishna says, at every moment, let us remember with gratitude, we have been given this moment, that is the most precious gift, the present moment. And when the present moment has been given, with gratitude we accept it without comparing, without complaining, and without criticizing. So one time Bhima, he got a thought that for every musical event, Arjuna is only called for singing. I am only called for beating up others. This is not fair. I also need to be recognized. I also feel I have some talent. And I also need to be involved in these kind of cultural events. Not that I am only called to smash and bash others. So Bhima went to the best music teacher in Indraprastha and said, you have to teach me music. The music teacher knew that Bhima had no future in singing. But who dared to warn Bhima? So he started teaching him, and then Bhima said, we will practice at the entrance of Indraprastha. Entrance gate, we will sit there so that the whole city sees. So my branding will change. So Bhima was shouting at the top of his lungs, trying to practice music. People came and complained to Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arey, please try to explain to your brother. Everybody's peace is getting disturbed. Buildings are shaking because of his shouting and screaming. Yudhishthir said, but he's trying to learn music, what can I do? He said, Arey, you can see that he has no chance of learning. So why you are encouraging this? Yudhishthir said, who will tell him? So someone said, maybe only Draupadi can tell him. So Draupadi went to Bhima and said, you know what? Music is a very refined Gandharva art. It should not be practiced like this in public. You should hone your talent up in the mountains in the middle of the forest. So Bhima liked this idea. So he left Indraprastha, went to the forest and started practicing. So one day suddenly he saw one man come up in front of him searching for something and looked at Bhima. The man got bewildered and out of fear started running away. Bhima said, hey, who are you? He says, no, I am going away. Bhima went behind him, caught him and said, tell me who are you and why did you come here? And that man said, actually I am a washerman and I had lost my donkey. And when I heard this sound, I thought I have found my donkey. With great jubilation I came here. But then I only saw you here. That day Bhima retired from trying to sing. So then in a few days' time, Yudhishthir Maharaj called Bhima and said, today is a very important day. I want you to go and invite Krishna because I have an important meeting. Go to Dwarka and invite him. Because you are Vayuputra, you can travel fast. Go to Dwarka and invite him. Bhima said, okay. So after Bhima left Yudhishthir Maharaj's presence, he went and he thought, let me have some, food. And then after that I will immediately go. So he had some food, but when Bhima has food, it is not a small amount. After having heavy sumptuous meal, Bhima thought, let me rest for a few minutes, then I will go. When he went to rest, it was a long sleep. There was a knock on the door, he opened the door, Yudhishthir Maharaj was standing there. Yudhishthir Maharaj said, I hope you went to Dwarka and invited Krishna. Bhima said, no, actually I was about to go, but I thought I'll sleep a few. Yudhishthir Maharaj started shouting at him. This is what you do all the time. You are so lazy. And he chastised him so heavily. Bhima started crying. And he closed the door and was crying and said, Krishna, please, before sunset, somehow, only if you come, Yudhishthir Maharaj will accept me. Otherwise, I will be rejected. And Bhima started crying and with great helplessness started crying out to Krishna. There was a knock on the door, he opened the door and Krishna was standing there along with Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Yudhishthir looked at Bhima and said, come on Bhima, you told me a lie. You actually went to Dwarka and informed Krishna. Krishna has come here. So Bhima started crying. He said, no, I never went. I slept off. So Yudhishthir said, how did he come then? So then Bhima looked at Krishna and said, I don't know how he came. Krishna said, Bhima, when you had engaged your music teacher and you were learning various ragas, that did not impress me as much as today, with total humility and helplessness, you cried out for me And that helpless dependence on me moved me so much that I came here instantly to save you. So therefore, we need not be in anxiety with trying to impress people of this world. Human form is rare. It is very privileged. Durlabho manavo deho dehinam kshanabhangura tatrapi durlabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. And in that rare human form of life, to have the opportunity to connect with the principles of Sanatana Dharma, with the knowledge of the Gita, the Bhagavatam, the spiritual literatures, that is even rarer. We have had relationships with objects, people, positions, opportunities in this life. This is the time to focus on developing relationship with the one who has given us all other opportunities in our whole life. And therefore, this wonderful opportunity exists for all of us to perfect our human form of life by imbibing these values of respect, care, humility, compassion, centered around transforming ourselves spiritually and including others socially. And I congratulate Colonel Sridharan for his wonderful efforts along with his whole team. Thank you all very much.